So we're going to get started in Pixlr E, and we are going to be starting with the stock images. One of the cool things in here is that there is quite a lot of images in here that you can get for free. When you click on it, it will just randomly pick something for you. But we are going to type in skier. You can type in whatever you want. You want to find a picture that maybe has some action in it or a person in it. And I'm going to grab this skier right down here and just click to put that in. Here, let it just pick the default. It would depend on the size of the project you're doing, but for today, you're just going to be practicing, so we're going to click that full HD and then click OK or select. And now I have my skier right here. Now, one of the first things you are going to want to do is to unlock this background. You want to unlock it because we want to be able to move it and treat it, and otherwise we can't do that. So just double click on this little lock right on that. That is the layer that we're going to be working with. And then we're going to also add an other layer. So if I move straight down, we're going to click the plus sign. And that plus sign will allow me to add in. We're going to add an empty layer because we're going to treat it with some color. I'm going to move it down below the background. Programs like this are all about the layers, and layering allows you to have options and really treat pictures in a unique way. Our tool we're going to be using is the cutout or mask tool. It's the little scissors over here. We're going to click on it. You notice when I hover on it, it gives me a description. And we have a lot of little tools that we can use along with this. We have shape, we have a magic wand. Our magic wand isn't going to work real well with this because of the busyness of the picture. But we also have some other tools. We have our paintbrush. We have a lasso tool that allows us to rope around something and select it. And we also have the rectangular marquee tool. Now, we're going to use the shape tool, and what's really cool is we can add to an image or we can take away from an image, and that is something different that doesn't exist directly in Photoshop, and so that's the tool that we're going to use today. I'm going to choose the circular shape that we see over here, and then we are going to use the remove from shape in order to take out a piece of the picture. So when I go out on the board, I'm going to draw this circle around my skier. And you'll notice that when I let go, it looks like it makes it disappear. But it is not really gone, it is masked. So it's like it is hidden. If I go and click on the add to shape, I can come back out and make another circle. And you'll notice that I now have made a part of it reappear. I've unmasked it basically so that I can see a part of it. Now I'm going to adjust it a little bit because I need to get this a little closer. I want to get his head in there. So you're going to see me adjust this a couple times until we get it quite the way we want, because I want his head to be in there. I'm clicking Control Z to go backwards. I believe that would be the key on your Chromebooks. And so we're going to work with this. Now our next thing is we're going to fill in this empty area, and that's why I put in this empty layer behind it. And the tool we're going to use for this is the gradient tool. So we click on that layer, and then I'm going to click on the gradient tool, which changes our color from one color to another color gradually. I don't want to use this green color though, so I'm going to change it. We can click a color and you can choose any color you want, one of the presets that are down there, or use the color bar on the left. And if I wanted to change the other end, then I click on the little house and I can change the color on that side as well. However, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use this blue and gray gradient. And so I have that selected. And when I go out to my layer, the direction, I'm going to get crosshairs. And the direction that I drag this is the direction that the gradient will go. So now you see I've made this shape. It looks a little bit three-dimensional, and it looks like some kind of object in the air around the skier. So our next tool that we are going to do is we're going to go back to our cutout and mask tool, and we're going to take out just little pieces of this circle. I want to make his foot show, and so we're going to use the paintbrush for this one. And we're going to add to the background image so that we can re-show the foot. So I'm going to zoom in here because we want to be pretty precise with this. And what you're going to see me do is just kind of edge out down and around this foot. We can change the size of that brush up there in the top right next to the other tools. And this is where you would want to take your time. We want to go kind of slow so that we are making sure that we're getting only what we need. Now I can go back and clean this up in the opposite direction by using the remove tool again. So I'm going to speed this up just a little bit so you can see where I took out all of his foot. Now notice here I took out a little too much of his foot. So at this point I can go and reverse and add back in this blue part. So I'm going to do that very carefully. And we just change the tool that we're using, whether we're removing or taking away. And I'm going to go back and add this in. I'm going to speed that up as well so you can see that I did all of that. So now it looks like his foot is coming out, and we're going to do the same thing to the head. So I'm going to choose the add to, and then we're just going to draw a little around. Now you may have noticed while I'm doing this that the add to is a green color and the remove is a red color. That's helpful because that's a little reminder to you of if you're adding or taking away. And now I'm going to refine this and take just a little bit back and take away back some of that little top around his helmet. And so now you can see that as I finish this up and zoom out, it looks like the guy is coming out of some sort of a circular apparatus, and it adds a little interest. This could be useful in a lot of ways. And again, it's just playing with the tools, trying to create something new. So you are going to go ahead and play around with these tools. I'm going to save this and download it just so you can see that these can be downloadable, but they also auto-save within Pixlr, so not necessary for you to necessarily download it. What I'd like for you to do is just play around. Find a picture you want to play with and try these two tools and see what kind of designs. You do not have to do the exact same thing that I showed on the screen, the exact same picture or the exact same shapes. So you can try using the paintbrush or the rectangular tools and see what you can cut out. Have a little bit of fun and enjoy.